welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 for some more multiplayer racing. For this session, we are driving A-Class cars. However, they have to be front-wheel drive, and this is a multi-surface series of races. So there'll be some dirt, there'll be some tarmac, which throws up some real challenges, basically. I like driving front-wheel drive cars in this game. I've had a fair few fast A-Class ones, to be honest, but when I build those, I normally know they're going to suck on the dirt, so I'll just sacrifice it and go all in for tarmac racing. Now, I've gone a slightly different route with this Veloster. I don't know whether this is going to work. So the Veloster has got a new wide body kit, recently added, which I am using here. These are like 295, 285 front tyre width, which are huge tyres for a front-wheel drive car. But of course, quite a lot of the vehicles in here are going to be on slick, semi-slick tyres. They will have a lot of grip. Quite a lot some might go for off-road race. In fact, from a brief look before we started filming this, it looks like quite a few have gone off-road race. Now, I don't have much luck with A-Class and off-road race tyres because you get so much power going through your front reels that they are horrible to drive on the tarmac. My hope is that the Veloster is going to be good enough that it's going to be very quick it's going to be good enough on the tarmac with the rally tyres to compete with the slick tyre cars, and it might be more composed on the dirt, even though I think it might be a bit of a tall order to be as quick as off-road race tyred cars on the dirt, just sheer compound differences, but we shall wait and see. Now we have someone else has gone for the same idea as me. Oh, we got some lag with the MG. The MG ended up in the wall and then lagged out towards us. Oy, okay, right. Got to get these tyres warmed up. It's a little bit leery to start with here. Oh, there we go. Chuck the car in, carry some speed, as much speed as we can through this section. Now whoa, hello. I'm not used to, I haven't driven a front-wheel drive car like this for a little while, actually. I tend to stick, what have I run in A-Class? I've had minis in A-Class front-wheel drive, but they've always tended to be, the ones that have done well have been slick and semi-slick tyred cars. The off-road spec front-wheel drive stuff has not worked so well for me. I think we have a little bit... Oh, I missed the checkpoint. I just tried to duck the nose out of the way, thinking I was going to clip the checkpoint, and we didn't. Damn it, that was shaping up to be a really good race, because I think the other Hyundai had a little bit more straight-line speed than me, and I think we had a little bit more grip. But alas, that one there is gone. We're now going to see a charge up through the field. I guess we get to find out how good the Veloster is regardless. But, yeah, that's a silly error. That one. I was trying not to make contact with the car in front, and I just jinked it slightly too far across to the right-hand side. That's the way it goes sometimes. Now, we should be able to pick our way through the field of cars. You can tell some of the vehicles are off-road race tyres, because they're probably going to be... Oh, God, they're going to have no speed at all through these sections. I'm struggling to put the power down a little bit. I mean, we are struggling a bit to put some of the power down as well. There's about 450 horsepower in here, in the wrong gears through some of this. Where can I get past the Civic? Well, the Civic's going to lose the back end through all of that, and we will be past. Little delicate with the throttle is going to be needed there. We will be clear of the Honda. Let's go chasing the rest of the pack. Easy does it up the hill. There's a Volvo smoking heavily. Smoked its entire way up the hill. There's a little bit of lag from some of these cars, especially noticeable with front-wheel drives having a tendency to show wheel spin. I think that Volvo is just very powerful. It's trying to find a way past the Scirocco. Right, let's not do anything silly with this. Oh, there is a Clio. Is that in the wall? We're up to 8th. Is a podium spot on the offing? Maybe. If we're very quick and we can get through... The real question is, can we get through traffic, basically? If we can do that, a podium spot might be possible, especially if there is a bump up ahead. The caddy has fallen back. I think I saw something hit a wall. Oh, we're going to duck underneath the Scirocco. We've just got so much more grip than the cars around us. We can just turn underneath stuff. But I've got to be careful. This is one of these cars that I do really feel like you've got to be driving it very delicately It's very easy to lock the brakes, easy to spin the wheels, so everything is kind of a delicate, real delicate touch through these corners. I can see a podium spot. There is a podium spot for the taking. I need a very good end to this lap. I mean, ideally, I can clear the Volkswagen before we go onto the final lap. I don't think I can get all three of them in the final lap. Could really do with finding a way past the Volkswagen here. We're throwing it in with so much speed here. The Veloster, though if the cars ahead are fighting one another, that would also help us out massively. We're carrying a lot of speed on the Caddy here. It is around the outside. Oh, in the penultimate corner, inside for the final turn. We get the move done. I went down one too many gears. But that's okay. We're okay. We're up to 5th. Can we chase down a podium spot here? I'm not quite sure what car's in 2nd at the moment. I think we've got the pace here. This is genuinely a very quick car. Actually, this is a very quick car around this circuit. Just looking at the lap time, that's up there with some of my better A-class cars. The MG slides wide. I will say thank you very much for that one. Straightforward pass at the end of the day there. Now I have got to get past a Civic that turned in too soon and bounced off the wall, and that is the opportunity that we need here. We will move ourselves up into a 3rd place. Not a bad recovery. Oh, it's just started to rain as well. Not a bad recovery for the Veloster. I mean, one more lap and we would have probably caught the Ford up ahead. I mean, we are flying at the moment. I will attack these final corners with a suitable amount of gusto just in case, but I think it's a very big just in case. Shame we didn't get to see what we could have had a battle with the other Veloster. These are very quick by the looks of it. It's only the first race, of course, and a lot of things can happen in the next few races, but these were mighty fast. The fact that I missed a checkpoint, I had to fight my way through, and I'm going to come within an inch of a, well, I'm going to end up with a 2nd. I don't quite know what happened to the other Hyundai. Something went on, but we can't do it. We missed the checkpoint. It was, yeah, silly error. Silly error by me on that one. Jesus Christ, a 25.7 around there. That's very fast. That Veloster is absolutely rapid. That is seriously quick. I would love to have seen the battle between me and the other Veloster. I don't know whether it waited thinking it might have pushed me out of checkpoint. It absolutely didn't. I did that myself. We were charging through the pack. I maybe had a controller issue or something at the final corner. I'm not sure. Bloody hell. That is a wonderful car. You do have to drive it carefully. As I said, very sensitive car, but Jesus, is it fast. We are off to the River Scramble for our next race, and this is where things are definitely going to get interesting. You see, we are not on the preferred tyres. Now, we're not on terrible tyres. It's not like we're running semi-slicks here, but we will be on considerably worse tyres than quite a few of the other cars. Is there a chance we can definitely make up some time? Okay, we'll make up time on the tarmac section. We'll be very, very quick there. And this track, it's not the worst. If we've got decent enough straight line speed, it's not the worst. Although, of course, the cars on off-road race tyres will naturally just have a lot more power than I do, for an example. It's going to be an interesting one to see how it all pans out. Because, yeah, we'll monster this tarmac section. We'll be super fast through here, but it's all going to go away the second we get to the actual proper dirt. Oh, we're all going to go away there if I throw it in a little bit too deep. Which isn't quite what we want to be doing. A little bit too much understeer through that section. Now, we will want to go aim for the narrow bit of the water. We can carry some more speed, but we cannot turn in as tightly as the off-road race-tied cars. Oh, I think the other Veloster may have got a help through that corner. It certainly looked like it may well have got bumped. Now, the other thing, not only will we struggle with the front end actually getting turned into the corners. It just simply won't have the bite of the off-road race tired cars. We will also struggle with a lack of traction compared to them. They will simply put their power down better than me. Although my hope is, because we haven't got the crazy levels of power, we might be slightly more manageable. Oh, and this is where we are going to be vulnerable. We're going to be very vulnerable to the off-road race tired cars through this section, through this change of direction. I mean, we were right on the back of the Clio, and we're not anymore. At any second now, I'm expecting there to be a Civic shoving its nose about. Can't quite do it. Civic's a little bit too far back. We are out of there in one piece for the moment. Now, we can monster this section here. Clio's not terrible through here, to be fair. We will close and we will close, but we might close not quite enough. We're close, but we're not going to be able to have a... I wanted to get the pass done there. If I'm going to beat the Clio, it's going to have to get the pass done there. Oh, we might be able to do it here. Have to have a little bit of a lift as we understeer off towards it. Now, there is a narrow section of water there. It's not quite as good, although the Clio did not go for the narrow section. Now, can we defend? Oh, you just see the understeer that we get. Where is that Clio? We're going to get more understeer through here. It's fine. The Clio wasn't quite in the right line. Will it have the straight line speed to pass us up the hill? That's it. The Civic, if the Civic gets free of the Clio, I could be in trouble. I think the Civic does seem to have more pace around here. And it hasn't got moved on. And it could simply breeze past us in a straight line. It's that fast. We've got to be very neat down here. We've got to make sure, don't make any mistakes. We're struggling for grip. Get that front end turned, which we do. Everything is starting to stack up behind us. We're going to pull away here. Although we know the Clio wasn't terrible. Yeah, we're going to pull away for this bit. And the thing that could save me is they're all going to fight each other. Yep, they are. That might actually save me there. If they want to go and have an argument amongst themselves, that could well save me. Because well, the Civic tried to move at turn 1, couldn't get it done. Has ended up losing out. And they've both lost a heap of time to the Veloster. We will run through the narrow part. Well, that's how we can get across. Oh, and I think they've all tripped over one another. And that has, yeah, it's given me a huge lead. I've immediately thrown some of it away by bumping into a wall with a lot of understeer, but, you know, that's fine. It's mostly fine. Civic is clear. It's got one lap to catch us. I mean, it's got clear for the section where it's going to be fastest at, which is helpful for it. It's absolutely sideways. Yeah, it's a lot more Larry than we are. Oh, and that's too much speed again. I'm so used to having... I say so used to having, but I do often go off-road sort of race stuff, and I just don't have the turn in. I can't chuck the car into the corner. The Civic is menacing. I've got to build a gap now. We've got to build a gap through here. The Civic's going to have good top end, but it can't really use it because you're immediately into this corner. Will the Civic be able to hold it flat through there? Maybe. This is now nerve-wracking. We've got to be perfect on the tarmac. Probably want third, to be honest. Not quite. I keep going down. Second's not quite the gear for the Veloster. Third is a better one to launch. A little bit of understeer there. Not too wide, though. Not too much of a problem. And have a little lift. Make sure I can get it across for the narrow section of water. The Civic doesn't go for it. Now, some of these cars, because they're so struggling with understeer, they just naturally get fired out wide. And that was I turned in too soon through there. That was really bad. The Honda is all over the back of us. We could have a problem here. We could have a big problem because the Civic's going to be fast. It's going to be fast up here. Now, we are going to... we're going to get ready to defend into this next corner. This is where the pass might come if the Civic's close enough. I don't know if it is. We have got all right straight line speed. We've got to really get the car slowed down here. Where is that Honda? It's having a look. It's all over the back of us here. We've got one more quarter to go. The Civic is not quite close enough, though. We will get the Veloster on to the tarmac, on to safety. We will carry much more speed through here than that Civic can. Oh, Christ, it was nerve-wracking. We did it. It was a bit of a scruffy final lap from me, really. Yeah, a little mistake after the water. I turned in a fraction too soon. Lost a lot of speed there. We then had... Well, we actually got identical fastest laps. That's quite impressive. Yeah, it was dicey. that was dicey at the end there. We really had to work for it. I did get quite defensive on the final couple of corners, which then slows you down, of course. But it was enough. Just enough, but it was enough for the Veloster to claim a victory. Bloody hell. I'll take it, though. The rally tyres worked well enough. We're back onto the tarmac for our next race at the festival circuit. This a much bigger test of straight line speed and power for the vehicles. I should still be quite good here. Of course, so the off-road race tyre cars are going to have an advantage. They will have more power, some of them running 600 plus horsepower, which is all very well and good. But they have got to be able to carry some of that speed through the corners. You know, this track, if a power car is going to work, this is the track where it's generally going to work at. But you do still have to be able to take the speed through the corners. Now, me and the other Veloster are likely to be very fast in the corners. We might get that battle of the Hyundais here with the power versus the handling one. That is possible. It would be interesting to see how that might play out. And we could find ourselves stuck in traffic, depending on how things go with power cars. Although we have done a pretty good job of getting through the pack so far. That Civic, I am concerned. I'm concerned about the Civic's straight line speed. An MG had a look to the inside, could not hold it. We know that Civic is monstrously fast down the straights. Don't quite have to defend at the moment. Now, one of the problems I might come across is if we get stuck behind the Scirocco. We have got speed on the exit here. Nope, Scirocco's got the top end on us. That's fine. Not going to worry too much about that. Could we? It would be a very brave move to get around. I don't often make the outside pass there work. The thing is, we've got a good run, and immediately, the Scirocco knows, Worm knows he's going to have to cover that line, knows the Veloster's fast, too tight a line through there. I will say thank you very much indeed for that one. And here comes the Civic again towards turn one. We will just park it in the middle a little bit. Just discourage. You're not going to throw it all the way to the inside because it's such a tight line there. You won't ever carry the speed. And we also don't have to take too shallow a line ourselves. That's the one. I mean, the downside of that is if the car behind is close enough, they could still get to the inside. I just figured the Civic knows if it's going to pass me, it's going to be on an acceleration zone. And it has, I think, lost perhaps the best chance to pass us was with fighting the Scirocco, basically. Because with the fight with the Scirocco, we were going to be losing time because we were stacked up behind it. But in the end, the Scirocco unfortunately made it a bit easy for us. It carried too much speed on a tight line into the final corner, and we were able to just, in the end, breeze past it on a normal line. And the other Veloster is through. It now becomes the battle of the two Hyundais here. Oh, around the final corner we go. Right. Will we be able to do it up? I mean, we've got a couple of second gap. That's always helpful. That's always a good thing. If it is the case, the other is faster than us in a straight line, it could potentially become a bit difficult to defend. I mean, the Civic is clinging on. They're going to lose a bit of time in all the fighting. So what also has helped me is because we got to the lead first, all the fighting has dropped them back, basically. We will run through here nicely. This is just a lovely, easy car to drive. This circuit, it works well. At the first circuit, that street circuit, it really did feel like a car you had to be incredibly delicate with in places. Here, it feels a lot better. I guess it's because we've got just a lot more space. It's a much more traditional circuit, if you like. It actually feels a lot nicer. It was never bad to drive, but it feels easier to extract the pace around here than it did at the Plaza circuit. Also, perhaps because the Plaza circuit, we were desperately trying to claw our way up through the field. But, you know, so it definitely does feel a bit more stable, a bit better at this kind of a size circuit. The gap is ever so slightly coming down. Will the other Hyundai be able to catch it? If it does, can it find a way past? That is the question. Civic's still there. The Civic's not really gone anywhere at the moment. I mean, if the Civic could catch up to second, I would be happy with that. If they could just get distracted with their own little fight, that would be wonderful. get the apex, just jump on the power the second we've made it there. There is a lot of grip in this car. There is a huge amount of grip in this car. And when it goes well, it is lovely to drive. And on the exit, the hairpin again. We're keeping the gap. Like, there's no way, even a small mistake from me would put that car right on us. But a small mistake from me doesn't immediately lose us a position at the moment, which is a nice gap to have. Yeah, even there, so that corner there was not perfect from me. But even then, the second wasn't close enough to really profit. And I don't think it's got the speed. I don't think the other Veloster is good enough in the corners to capitalise on a little mistake like that. When we just missed the apex slightly, just missed our braking slightly. I mean, we're a little wide on the entrance here. I was going to try and get it back for the exit, but ever so slightly overshot. So yeah, a little mistake like that, we don't have the car behind straight on our bumper immediately attacking into the next braking zone. In fact, I don't think it can be flat like that hill, possibly. Struggling, so it hasn't got, they clearly haven't got, wee, that's some understeer. I jumped on the throttle a little too soon. God, I'm so close to the wall. Very, very close to just smashing my car on that outside wall. That would have been the kind of thing that we don't need. Again, it's one of those tantalising. So we've got the tantalising gap back to second, and the Civic in third has also got it to the car in front, where it's just lap after lap. We're doing pretty much identical lap times, and nothing's changing. They can't get close enough to attack. We've actually had a good end to this lap. We've extended the lead by a little bit, and all we need to do is not smash the wall in the final corner, which we don't. It's gonna be a 1-2 for the Velosters. The Civic held on very well around there. The Civic held on. I mean, I think in all the scramble to get themselves up into second, like that big battle for second, lost the Civic some time, but once it all got clear, I mean, a tenth separates the top three. We're quite a bit faster. The Escort was down into the 106s, not a million miles away, actually, to be fair. The Escort had some pace there, but maybe missed a checkpoint or something. Yeah, that's a fair way. It's a fair way back for that kind of a lap time. So it might have been running in clean air, to be fair. Yeah, the Velosters are stupidly fast. Great showing from the Civic, though. Taking the fight to us in third. We head to the Baja Scramble for our next race. Will the Veloster be able to win again? Apologies, my dog is sneezing in the background. Well, there's a Veloster on pole. We're back in 7th. We were half decent at the previous off-road circuit. However, a good chunk of our lap time was made up on the tarmac. Here, of course, it is full dirt. I suspect, well, funnily enough, I suspect the off-road race tired cars are going to be very quick around here, funnily enough. We'll try and take the fight to them. I think we might have a slightly better Veloster for the off-roading out of the two. We will see what we can do here, though. At the end of the day, yeah, these big tyres are working wonders for us in comparison, I think, to other cars on rallies, but they're not enough to overcome everything for the off-road race. So, the MG, I believe, is on off-road race. The Clio is on off-road race. The Civic somewhere is an off-road race. I just don't know everything. I'm not sure what other ones. We'll very quickly find out by what cars can actually turn into these corners and carry a lot of speed. Because, you know, they will just have more grip than we do. This still has remarkably good grip on the dirt. Oh, sorry, Clio. That was... I didn't realise there was a car to the inside until... Well, when you're committed on those corners, you turn in, and then it's like, oh crap, there's actually a car there, and you can't change direction quick enough. Oh, you cannot be flat through there. We might be able to be flat through there on the second lap if I can get it right. The Civic's going to look to the outside. It's a long way round here for the Civic to go. The other Veloster is definitely struggling more with understeer. Did not expect to tap on the brakes there. That's going to struggle to slow down. So yeah, the other Veloster is really struggling with the grip. I think it's on slightly smaller tyres than I am, which would explain the difference. We're going to be on the outside of the Civic. Can't really do anything to stop that. It was carrying so much speed as we bounce our way into the first corner. The MG is gone at the front. It's made a big gap so far. Can we do anything about the Honda? I'm going to doubt it. but we will try. We will try our best, because we still got, even though we don't have the right compound tyres, we still have a remarkable amount of turning. It's just the sheer size of the tyres is enough for this here. And so the other thing we've got is big rear tyres as well, which won't really help much on the, I won't say won't help, will help, but won't do much on the tarmac. However, out here, one of the things you sometimes get when you're on rally tyres rather than off-road race, on the dirt, is the back end likes to let go. And because we've got such big tyres on this car in comparison to our rivals, it's actually, again, quite a bit more stable. We get bounced through there. That's not ideal. Where is that Clio going to be? It's definitely around. It's having a look. Not quite, no. Got on the power too soon. Just understeer for days. Alright. We're not going to catch the Civic. We fought the fight as much as we could, I think. We're not a million miles away from the Civic. We're definitely the best of the two Velosters. The Civic actually made an error through turn one. I think turning maybe a bit too soon, or got a bump, got launched out wide, lost all its momentum. So that's given us a little bit of hope. We need to see a couple more. I think that Civic is quite fast, but I don't think it's easy to drive. I don't think it's easy to drive at all around here. The Clio is about. We just see it flash through the camera shot, taking a slightly different line to me. But it's still there. We can't afford to relax at all here. Oh, the Civic's run wide. That's the sort of stuff we want to see. If we're gonna do anything about second, that is the kind of things that we do want to see. Can I take it flat out? We need a downshift halfway around the corner, but you can almost get away with running that flat out with the wider line there. It's good to know. Can't really do too much about catching the car ahead. I mean, they will be faster, of course. They'll be flat through there. The Civic struggling to turn in. So this is where the plus point with my car is we have probably a bit less power, and our car is just delivering it better. Even though we're on the slightly wrong tyres, it is delivering it better in places. However, like we see those mistakes, we saw like half a chance for us, but it's just not enough quite for us to be catching up. And the Civic is good through turn one. I think it's clear. If we were gonna be able to catch it, we were gonna have to have a few more mistakes basically as we head towards the twisty section. The Clio is again right there, right on the bumper, and I've made a mess of that corner. That's not ideal. We should survive it, but yeah. Our turn to make a little error. Just wonky line from me essentially. The Clio is right there, but it can't quite get into a place to attempt to pass on us. We will run wide through there. The Civic missed a checkpoint. I think it did. Civic missed a checkpoint or made an error somewhere. That promotes me up into a second place. The Clio is going to look... So I'm a little vulnerable here to the Clio getting underneath, which is why I had to go very defensive, but I'm struggling to put the power down. It just wants to drag me straight the second we go, and the Clio is going to have done it around the outside at the final corner, but the Clio's on a funky line. Oh, we're not going to quite get it back. Good pass from the Clio there. Yeah, the problem is, whichever way I went, I think I was going to be done for. If I defended like I did, we take such a shallow line that the Clio can just go around the outside. We'll just drive around, clear around the outside of us, no problem at all. If we don't take that defensive line, Clio will just dive because it's got better brakes than us on that surface. It'll just dive and pass us there. So, but I mean, the fact is, the ridiculous thing is with all of that is that. We were so much faster than anything else on rally tyres. That's insane from that car. That's absolutely insane how fast that Veloster is. Yeah, good fun battle. Great fun battle with the Clio. We are heading to the Estonia circuit for our final race. We are a fair way back. I love this track. It is one of my favourite circuits in the game. I've got a car that I really like, so I'm probably going to miss a checkpoint. Like that's probably how it's going to end up going, really. I think it's going to become the Veloster show here, to be honest. The Civic, while fast at the festival track, the lack of grip is going to let it down here, and some of the other cars I just don't think are going to be quick enough. The Velosters just have way more pace in the corners than anything else here on the rally tyres, and the off-road race tyres don't make up enough time in a straight line to deal with the quarter speed that we can take. So I suspect, well, the Veloster has missed a checkpoint. Or has had an issue. I will say also the Civic had a controller disconnect in the previous race. That's where it went. That's how we ended up with second place there. So, yeah, some technical difficulties. Now, we are not going to come out of ghost mode with the lead of the race. And the thing we've got to be wary of course, is the Civic is fast down these straights. And I am not going to be passing it into the chicane, I don't think. I don't know how quick it's going to be through that corner. So it's the first lap. We will just bide our time a little bit. We'll figure out where the Civic is strong, where the Civic isn't strong, and then we can go for it. This section here will probably be a good spot to try a pass. Carry speed inside the final corner. We'll do it, but the Civic is going... I thought it was going to cut back underneath us. It didn't have the grip to do it, but the Civic's going to have the straight line speed to tackle us into turn. So much for me saying sit back and wait. Admittedly, an opportunity arose. I saw the chance. We will go defensive into turn one. Again, not mega defensive. Let's just park it in the middle. Park it in such a way that is discouraging the Civic. We know that the Civic knows it's not got the grip to really take that tight line. So yeah, again, and I didn't want to take a really ridiculously tight line, so it was just park it, discourage the Honda from having a pass, and then we can just carry the speed through that section. We will be quick through the next part, and now we have the chicane all to ourselves. That is absolutely spot on. What can the Civic do? The Civic's not bad in the chicane, I'll give it that. It's here. This is where we make up most of our time. As I said, I wasn't necessarily going for a pass on the previous lap. I just saw how much speed we were taking, and it was just set up perfectly for it. It looks like the Civic's going to have some company from the Scirocco and from the Escort. We are flying, actually. Just at the lap times. It's quick. It's definitely a fast... Oh, it's fast just for an A-class car. It's not just front-wheel drive. It's just genuinely fast, this thing. I mean, I expected it to be good. I expected the Veloster to be a quick car. Didn't realise it was going to be this quick, if I'm honest. Especially not on the rally tyres. If I put it on the semi-slicks, I would not at all have been surprised or something. But yeah, the rally tyres, it is monstrously fast. Don't do anything stupid through there. I actually got a bit too much speed on the way. We're getting carried away now. It's like, well, what can this car do if you really go for it? The answer is quite a lot, but not that. That was a little too much. I should probably be slightly slower on the way into that final set. I should try and straighten up the exit onto this straight a little better. I keep over... Well, like, you carry speed on the way in, you're going to pay for it later on, basically. So I should probably try that to a 1 minute 0.8. Jesus Christ. That is... So I don't keep track of lap times of all the cars I build and so on, but this is essentially one of the fastest A-class cars I've ever built. Around this circuit, this is one of the fastest I think I've ever built. And this is front-wheel drive, and probably not on the tyre... Well, obviously it is the tyres I should have used for this, Christ. But this is not the tyres that I would have put on it if it wasn't the fact that I knew this was going off-road. And that was with an iffy final... It was with an iffy final section. Oh, and it was with an iffy chicane as well, because I drove it in too hard into the chicane there. So if we get... I mean, this part here we can be fast. It's here. What we want to do is we want to slow it down just a little bit more, and then... we can take a much... That's what you want to do. I mean, I don't know if the rest of the lap was good enough. The Civic's... I'll give credit. That Civic is really gamely holding on as best as possible to the back of this car, considering the Civic is probably out of its element a little bit in terms of kind of tyres for this sort of stuff. It's probably a bit too much power going through the front wheels, and I've had a scruffy... it's a scruffy first sector. There's more time in that car. I mean, probably a sub 1 minute with enough laps would be doable. That would take a lot of going from me, but yeah, definitely a very low 1 minute is possible with this car if I could string everything together. I mean, it's easy flat through there. Now, we'll go for a little downshift. Oh, I've got weight transfer mid corner there. I didn't quite get the turn in right for that. It's got a little unsettled, but there we go. Well, like a smidge wide as well. It's not quite going to be perfect. It's the final lap of the race. We're not going to get another chance. We just had a hot lap session. Really, in that one, yeah, that's such a good car. Bloody hell. It is across the line. Yeah, not a great final lap. There's definitely... There was more speed in that, and that thing was absolutely flying around there. Jeez. As I said, that is probably one of the best, one of my favourite A-Class cars that I have built. Full stop. It was a monster. The other Veloster also very quick. The Civic, as I said, credit where credit is due. That Civic very, very fast, actually, for that. That is not a bad lap time for a front-wheel drive car on off-road race tyres there at all. It's just the fact that the two Velosters are stupendously fast. The Escort not too shabby either, actually. The Scirocco, we saw the Scirocco behind. It was leading the charge at one point, but got stuck in traffic, I'm going to guess, in all of that. Well, there we go. I found a new favourite A-Class car, pretty much, in that one. Yeah. That's incredibly fast. Thoroughly enjoyed driving it. It's not only is it fast, it's nice to drive. It's a little sketchy on the really twisty stuff. It is a bit difficult there, but as soon as you get to a bigger circuit, it's wonderful. There we go. That is going to be it for this video. While it is a stunningly quick car, it did actually have some very good races along the way as well, which is also the important stuff. That is going to be it from me. If you'd like to take part in the next one of these, you can sign up via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the versus the community section, and you can register to take part in there. But that's going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.